These are all the best fishing spots in the game right now, and this is going to be even after the nerf, and these are going to be the top 3 that are going to make you more and more money. Now inside of Fisch, even after the nerf, they kind of ruined the whole economy, and a lot of people are trying to figure out a new good spot, especially after the old cultist lair Key of Oaths was nerfed. Now the reason for this, I have a whole video explaining the best physical fish you should be trying to grind, but today I'm going to be showing you the best spot in general. But as a quick note, if you are trying to make money, this is obviously going to be more of a better spot. I'll be giving a bit of a breakdown, so it might, be a while, so do make sure you watch till the end. And today might just be your lucky day, but if you're watching this video within 1 week of it coming out, then you will actually be able to enter into my Oniralphic set giveaway. I'm going to be giving away every single fish for this, and to enter, all you need to do is go down and click that hype button, and then hype this video, and then go and comment your Roblox username down below. But once again, hype this video, comment your Roblox username, and that will enter you into the Oniralphic giveaway, and I'm going to be giving this away to multiple people. So the first thing is going to be a little thing. So I made if I can pull it up, made a Google Docs actually, with all of the locations. So I have a breakdown of this, and I'll show this at the end of the video if you want to, screenshot it and look at it. But the first spot is actually going to be over in Sunstone Island. So over at Sunstone Island, there are 2 fish here, and I've tried to do a bit of a average rate you would make. But from what I can tell, it's around it's not as good as the Key of Whisperers, but for most people who can't, the rainbow method like that one previously had, this is mostly just for auroras. You can make around a consistent, I would say, 20 to 30 million an hour. If you're really good, you can make 40 million an hour if you're, lucking out and you're always getting the best mutations on it. Now, for the first part, I'm going to quickly pop a totem real quick. So in here, there's 2 fish you're going to want to try to get. The first one being the speed core. This was obviously noted in the previous methods, but the speed core, as you see, has an average price range of around 10,000. So it's going to be on average making around 10,000 per price. So the max, obviously, this is not the true max, considering I've had some sell for 300,000, I'm not even lying. So to get this, I'll show you in a second. But there's another fish here. This is the other exotic. This is the benefit of fishing at Sunstone Island, is there's actually multiple exotics you can catch here. So there's this one, don't even want to know how to pronounce that, and speed core. So both of these, you'll pretty much catch both of these at the same % chance, but since you're catching both of them and have a higher chance for that, then you have an aurora, better rod, better bait. You're going to have around a 30 to 40% chance to get those, one or the other, and both of them have around the same value. And obviously, what's interesting is this one being a higher one actually has a lower sell value, and so it's rarer and harder to catch, has a lower sell value than the easier to catch one. So the main thing about this, the resilience on this is super, super low, meaning rods like the Ruinous Oath are going to be perfect for catching this because you're going to make the most amount of money. Now, I did catch, I had a full inventory, and I was able to sell for nearly 200 million from here, and this was after a few hours of grinding. Now, or not a few hours, there's many hours, we're going to be honest, but really good strat. Now, the main thing is, if you do want to use atomic nukes, these are going to be very beneficial. Now, I do run atomic nukes and auroras in my own Discord server, so you can join that. That'll be in the description. I run those events relatively consistently. I'm trying to do as many as I can. Obviously, I have a limited amount of atomic nukes because of the black market and the inconsistency in being able to buy them because it's only on the weekend. But so we're going to fish here. Now, obviously, with the nighttime and aurora, the chances you're looking at for, say, specifically the speed core is around a 16% chance. And then the other one is going to be around I think it's around a 17% chance. So you have a 16 and then a 17% chance for both of them. But then since there's 2 separate exotics, what you can do is these are the recommended rods. I'll give you this. So if you're wanting specifically high kg, you don't want mutation value isn't really important to you. So Sea Overlord and Sea Prince is a necessary enchantment. So Fabulous Rod, Nate's Blade is really good. Ruinous Oath obviously being one of the best ones. Now, if you don't have Ruinous Oath, you can get the Luminescent Oath, and the Luminescent Oath has the exact same mutations and multipliers, blah, 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 all that. It's just harder to use because of the lower stats than the Ruinous Oath, but this is also, an option if you cannot, get the Ruinous Oath, but it still can give the mastered mutation. You can still enchant it with Sea Overlord and Sea Prince. So technically the fish you're going to catch are going to be the same. It's just a bit harder since the progression speed increase is, I think, every 2 seconds it increases by 3%, and the other one is every 1 second increases by 2 to 3%. So Ruinous Oath is obviously better. Now, the issue with Nate's Blade, Nate's Blade gives the best percentage increase on size. With Sea Overlord and Sea Prince, it's around 155% increase to all fish caught. The only issue is, say, the mutation's only 4x, and then on top of that, when you're fishing here and you're using, for example, a nuke, the nuke will give atomic, which is an 8x increase. But the only issue is the Nate's Blade mutations actually overwrite atomic, so you don't ever actually catch atomic. I ran an atomic a few days ago in my Discord, not a few days ago, I think it was literally yesterday in my Discord server, and I, was sitting there fishing, grinding for 30 minutes, and then I went to sell and didn't have a single atomic fish. It was all, the ones from the Nate's Blade. Now, that's why Fabulous Rod is pretty good. Sea Overlord, Sea Prince, it already has a passive that increases by 25%, so around a 80% increase to fish caught size, which is really nice. So Fabulous Rod is pretty good. And then also, yes, you can get the Fabulous mutation. It's just not as common and is higher than Mastered. But Ruinous Oath is also a really really good option. So Ruinous Oath, also if you have Sword of Darkness, you know, you can use that, and Luminescent Oath. But Ruinous Oath, the reason for this is, once again, like I was saying before, the fish are very, very low resilience, especially the ones you're trying to get. So you can get these very, very easily and almost all the time get the Mastery mutation on them. So I recommend fishing here. Now, as a quick note, there is Mastery on the Ruinous Oath. So as you see, I'd recommend trying to get this as well. If you are deciding to use Ruinous Oath, try to get this. So True Mastery, as you see, catch 1,000 fish with the Ruinous Oath mutation or the Mastered mutation. This will give 15+% fish size to all fish caught by default with the rod. Now, obviously, this is better, easier said than done, but you know, if you just keep grinding, like I've caught 1,500 almost fish with this, and I would say a good majority of those were all mastered, because most of the time I'm catching fish, and I was mainly using this rod during the grinding because I usually use Nate's Blade, but since I was fishing here, right, doing the Key of Whisperer strat, all of those were optimal. But the only issue now is, since the Key of Whisperers is obviously nerfed, if you didn't know, the value, it went from worth 10,000 to only 600. So they nerfed the crap out of that. Now, I don't think they're going to nerf this one, because the only reason they nerfed that is because during a rainbow, you pretty much always caught it. So it lost its value of being a rare exotic. Now, after you fish here, you can make a pretty good rate. Now, the next spot is going to be over at Carrot Garden. Now, I'll explain the best way to farming it in Carrot Garden, but essentially a good amount of the fish caught in Carrot Garden have a pretty decent value. So to get to Carrot Garden, you're just going to come on over to Ancient Isles. Man, a bit away from it. Not Ancient Isles, it's Moosewood. I just went to, or Mushgroove. I just went the wrong way. I'm tired, okay? You're going to come to Mushgroove. This is the back side of it. That was perfect. So yeah, that's the front side. You're going to come to this big tree on the back side. There's all these carrots around it, and there's this little section you can crawl into. Now in here, you can fish in this section right here. And when you fish in here, right, the fish you get are relatively easy, like super low resilience. So you're going to get a lot of them like that. A big mastered carrot eel, right? But one of the main fish you can get, similar to other spots, the reason why Carrot Garden is also pretty good is because of the consistent ability to catch exotics. Now, the reason why this is better than the other ones is the other ones I'll be showing you and the Sunstone Island don't directly have much value in the fact that they don't have any like specifics. So like if you farm, I would like farm Carrot Garden, right, only during spring, you'll have a really good chances of getting this, like way higher chance compared to fishing other spots. Like for example, the Speed Core doesn't have any boosts, but this one does. So you're most likely going to catch this one rather than this one because of the benefit to that. But the obviously same rod recommendations. Now the next spot is going to be in the Cultist Lair, but there's actually a specific fish here we're going to catch that has a really good value. Now I did the, obligation of, being the one making this video, of finding the best ones and, making this relatively universal. So there's two zones you can fish in, firstly being the Hall of Whisperers. You can also fish in the main Cultist zone and then the Passage of Oaths. Now the main thing with this is there's two fish that we're going to try to get. Now previously you would fish in here, right, get the Key of Whisperers. Now the one thing though is I'd really only recommend coming in here when the event spawns in, since we're going to be fishing to try to get the Athulid and the Cthulhu and Cthulid. So we'll come in here and then boom, we'll load in, come in here. So this is going to be the Hall of Whisperers. Now when the event spawns in, you can use the, well dang, my game crashed. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so when you're in here, right, you're going to use the fish radar. Now the Cthulhu or Cthulid, whichever one spawns in here, I think the Cthulhu or Cthulhu, yeah, the Cthulid with the D spawns in the passage or the Hall of Whisperers. Now this is this one, right? We'll also look at the docs, or not that page here. So right, average price of around 7,000 or 7,600. Now the main reason for this, if we activate a Aurora, additional luck, and we're using the Ruinous Oath, as you see, you have a very high chance to catch this, especially if you're using the squid bait. Now the one thing about bait, right, I usually use the luminescent larva. I kind of just ran out, but squid bait is the necessary one for here to boost your chances. Now we're going to come back a bit further and head to the Hall of Whisperers. I'm going the wrong way, or the Passage of Oaths. Now the Passage of Oaths, there's actually the reason why you want to do this one, I would say more, is the Cthulhu is actually easier and more common to catch than the Cthulhu, and it sells for more. So you're going to come in here, fish in this zone, and so the Cthulhu, as you see, has a higher average sell value of pretty much 1,000 more, and then additional luck, slap this on, and see the squid bait, you can get this way more commonly. Now I do think they actually literally just nerfed this, considering it used to be a 50% chance, which is actually funny because they literally just nerfed this then, bruh. Okay, it's still pretty good, but it's less common. It used to be a 60% chance to catch it, so they pretty much made it harder, but nonetheless it is still very common for being an exotic, having good sell value. And one of the main things about both of these is they have, this one has higher resilience than the other one. So the Cthulhu, as you see, 50 resilience, super easy to catch. So getting mastered on it with the perfect catch is going to be relatively simple. But this one has minus 60% progress and higher resilience. It's going to be harder, but nonetheless still very valuable. Obviously, if you're good at catching, you can do that. If you're running a nuke or atomic or something like that, you'll still get the mutation regardless. Or if you're not even using this rod in the first place, like something like Nate's Blade, Sword of Darkness is pretty good too. Other rods such as that. But for the most part, I mean, realistically, you just got to lock in, and you want to try to get as much value out of this as you can, because because, I mean, as you just saw, they've already nerfed the percentage on that. So they're sitting and changing, nerfing, and pretty much making the game overall a bigger pain in the butt for money, because, you know, they nerfed the whole economy and people are finding ways to make money even after the nerf. And they're like, no, it needs to be hard. Trust, we need to nerf it more. So I would recommend grinding these as fast as you can, because like I said, chances are they're probably going to get nerfed soon. So make sure you do that. Consider